Okay, I've got a hollowed out cone using just a sketch and a revolve, but so what? Well, double click back on your sketch and notice how, with this approach, I'm able to start confronting the sharpness at the tip of the cone. And I'm not walking through this first attempt where I try to use the fillet tool because it didn't work. It failed. I failed. Sure, it rounded over the corner, but it kept rounding it and came down again, causing a little bit of a dimple in the top of the cone, and that's not what I want. My next attempt was more successful. So let's walk through that one. Come back to your sketch and activate the line tool and draw a horizontal line that snips off the top of that sharp top. And by horizontal, I just mean you're looking for this little square corner icon, promising that you are 90 degrees to your vertical line. With your horizontal line in place, activate the trim tool and get rid of the remainder of that horizontal line and the remainder of your sharp top, these two little line segments up here. Good. We've now flattened off the top, better than pointy. Let's get from flat topped to rounded top. And again, let's start with a false start. Click this Create menu and choose the 3-point arc. Click to place the first point, click to place the second, and then the third point is the middle that defines the radius of the arc. But notice the dilemma. As I move my mouse around deciding where to place the middle, I notice some useful icons pop up. The tangency icons. It looks like a circle with a line, and the line is tangent to the circle. But I can't get it to show up at both ends of my arc. I can get tangency with my outer slanty hypotenuse line, or I can get tangency with my snipped off flat top, but I can't get both, and because of that, my arc is always going to bulge outside of one of these lines on either the sloping edge or the flat top. And you can think of tangency here as simply the notion that as a straight line transitions into a curve, there is no bulge and there is no divot or wrinkle. Just a nice, smooth, perfect transition. So how do we get that? Well, let's look again at the fillet tool. The promise of the fillet tool is that it will make a curve that is guaranteed to be tangent to the two straight lines that you select. So activate the fillet tool and click on this top line and this sloping line, and notice the curve perfectly tangent at both ends. And notice how I get a control arrow that I can click and drag to increase the radius of my arc, rounding more and more the top of my cone. If I push it too far, it'll wrinkle out past my line of symmetry, so back off a little bit and find a spot that rounds without wrinkling. Good. Click Finish Sketch and check out the top of this perfectly tangent, rounded off cone. And you can round out this outside corner with the exact same application of the fillet tool. Okay, the last item of business is the thickness of this side wall. Back at our drawing, we called it out to be 1/16 of an inch, so let's make it precise. Activate your sketch dimension tool, click on this outside edge of the side wall, then the inside edge of the side wall, and pull your dimension down here somewhere where you've got some room, and enter it, 1/16. And Fusion will display that as its decimal equivalent, 0.0625, rounded to 3 digits, 0.063. Very nice. This you could send to a 3D printer or start machining in a CNC mill. It's a journey to get from a shape or an object that you notice out in the world to a design that might be manufacturable. So take a moment to celebrate all the work it takes and all the concepts and vocabulary that need to pile up in support of that goal.